Hello, and welcome. My name's Jessie Robertson from the website jessierobertson.com, and I'm here for a quick impromptu video. I'm going to show you how you can create hive-like texture using bubble wrap with acrylic paint. I love creating texture in backgrounds of paintings. It adds such a fun bit of pattern and whimsy to our projects and can really make them quite festive. So I used a stencil to create this honeycomb in this bee painting. So it has very exact hexagonal shapes and it's quite lovely. But you can also make patterns that are similar to this using things you've got around your house. So this was a really quick demo using bubble wrap to get the similar kind of texture. And whenever you have little cellular patterns together, it starts to look like a honeycomb. Now this isn't something that will be exclusive to painting a bee. I use this kind of pattern when I'm doing any kind of little card or fun summer projects. For instance, if you had a little bit of texture and pattern like this in summer colors, you could paint a little watermelon on top or a little palm tree. Really, the sky's the limit. So let's go ahead and talk about how to use bubble wrap to create this pattern. We'll do one with just the plain bubble wrap pattern on some white paper to start, and then we'll do it over this pre-stained background. And if you have any questions about how to pre-stain backgrounds or to tape down your paper when you're using really liquidy acrylic paints, I have a tutorial that's coming this afternoon called Honeybee that will show you all about how to do that. So this is just going to be a quick demonstration about how to use our bubble wrap. So one fun way we can get a hive-like texture is to simply use the bubble wrap like a stamp. When we're creating a pattern using bubble wrap, instead of filling in the cells of a stencil, so here is a stencil, and if we were going to use this, I would fill in the individual cells with a stencil brush or any kind of big brush, even a sponge, and we would go over top, and you can get different colors in individual cells. And that's quite fun, but you can get something so lovely just by using the bubble wrap. So I've got a small piece here, and typically this is really tiny bubble wrap, and bubble wrap comes on packaging. When you use bubble wrap, it's typically a one-time use, so I don't want you to go out and buy bubble wrap just for the purpose of this. If you're going to buy something, splurge on the stencil, because the stencil can be reused. They're thick plastic and you can use them again and again. Bubble wrap is a one-time use and then it goes in the landfill. However, this is packaging that comes in anything you have ordered from a shop. So this can give it a second life. So here we go. To create this fun pattern, we're just going to paint on it and then press it down very gently. You can use really, really large bubble wrap too, but I've got some small stuff here today. So I will be using colors such as, I'm going to be working in these fun, vibrant summer colors, reds, yellows, and pinks. So I'm going to take a big brush like this number 8 filbert brush. And I'm going to go into my paint without watering it down. And I'm just going to start to paint on my bubble wrap. So I'm going to try to hold my brush horizontally, and I just want to pick up. I was a little bit too thick there. I pressed it right down. I just want to pick up the pattern of the bubble wrap. And don't worry about getting it totally and completely, but we can create some fun ombre fade. So I might go from my red here and then maybe make a pink. I'm going to paint down with some pink. I'm going to make it even lighter, even lighter. And you can fade and blend colors together. So I'm just hovering my brush over top of the bubble wrap. I want to just pick up the fun pattern. Before you go into another color, you will want to just rinse to brush off and squeeze it out on a napkin. And let's fade some of this down into some yellows. And of course, if I blend the yellows up into this pink, it's going to create peaches and orange. So you can really get some fun. And anytime when you touch another color, you pick that up on your brush. So let's use some really light pastel yellows down here, maybe some really dark ones. Okay. So what I have got here, and I'll put it on the white so that you can see it, and you can see some areas where I got a bit too thick, but that's fine. We just won't push too hard in those areas, and some bleed through can be fun. So once you've got the paint on the bubble wrap, you're going to choose where you want to place it, turn it over, set it down on your paper, try to get it in one shot, and then you want to just gently press over the top. So these sponge things, I don't know about you, but I get lots of these in my sets, or a big brush, and just gently, gently, I'm not pushing very hard, I'm just gently pushing down, especially not over my big blobber boos. I'm going to gently push down without moving the bubble wrap, so I don't want to move it. Just a little bit of pressure. And then when you're ready, you can just peel it up and you get a really, really fun hive-like texture. So if I had pushed even harder, I would have got even more of a print out of this. And this is just on white paper, so you can see how fun this would be. You know, if you did a realistic watermelon slice, you could do this with greens, you could do it with anything. So if we look up close, it is a circular pattern, but if you put a bee over this, it's going to read like a hive, even though it's circular. And then, of course, I'll show you how we stain our paper, and I'll show you how to take down some areas of this so we can fade them out, we can make them look muted and pushed into the background just by adding a bunch of layers with our color. So now let's do it over top of a larger piece that's already stained here. Let's do this one more time. One more time. I've got an even bigger piece of bubble wrap here. And I've cut it to fit my painting space. Now I want to show you big ass bubble wrap. Oops, I swore. I want to show you big bubble wrap. So I have a lot of this when I order supplies. This stuff makes a really great pattern too. I also use this to put on my greenhouse in the winter because I grow vegetables. So if you have extra bubble wrap around, you can reuse it for projects. But it comes in all sizes, so you can use all different sizes. I'm going to stick with this small stuff because it looks quite pretty. I'm just going to do the same thing, and you want to plan it out. So, you know, I might want some, you know, pinks up here and some yellows down here. So remember, we're going to flip it over. So I'm going to put my pinks up here, and I'm going to move into some yellows here. So the exact same thing, but I'm going to use a bigger brush because I'm working on a bigger paper, and I want to try to just pick up. I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to wipe it into the red, and I'm really going to coat it, and then I'm just going to hover over the top. So this will be flipped, so I'm going to start with my reds up here. And if you want to fill in, like this one had some gaps, so just hover over the bubble wrap a bit more. But I think that texture looks really cool. It reminds me of, you know, old printer, dot printers, that kind of thing, which gives it a kind of retro feel. So I think it's quite fun. Now I like to go through ombre here, so I'm going to get into some whites. Oh my god, this technique is so fun, and you can do so much with it. So this is more like stamping. Stenciling is different. Stenciling is really exact, and you can control what goes in each cell, and they're also reusable. So the benefit of a stencil, should you like doing patterns or maybe your art journaling, and only buy the patterns that you really love. Like, I am a huge fan of geometry and geometric shapes, so for me a honeycomb is like, heck yes. But if you're more into like florals or birds and it's something that you're going to use a lot, then that's something you might want to consider. This is just a fun way to do things too. You don't want to let that paint dry, so don't overthink it too much. So I just picking up, skimming the surface here. Skimming the surface, and I don't want my red to dry. Okay, now this is some coated bubble wrap. Now I'm going to flip this over, and it's kind of a one-shot deal. So ready? Here we go. Up and down. Now I want to press this down. If you don't have like a sponge, you can just use your hand, but I always find it's a bit safer to rub it a little bit. Rub, 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 rub. And if you want to paint our honeybee and try this technique, we're actually going live over on our YouTube channel today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So maybe I'll see you for the live, and If not, maybe I'll catch you on the replay. I know a lot of you have asked about this kind of technique, and I have rubbed this more than enough. It's just quite fun to do. It's a little hypnotic. And then I'm peeling this off. Oh yeah, now that's the jazz. So this is quite fun. This is over a pre-stained background. I hope you found this bubble wrap tip and trick helpful. I hope you have a wonderful day for the rest of it. Take care. See you later. Bye.